Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. This time we're on the set of an old television show from the past called Space 1999 with Martin Landau.
Oh, that was one great show. I've forgotten. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah,
actually.
and so we're going to be talking sci-fi. And if you look on the right of your screen, there's Martin Landau. He was the commander of the moon. We're talking about the Earth's moon.
Yes, Moon Base Alpha, I think it was called.
They had a moon base there. And then, of course, his wife in real life, Barbara Bain, she was Dr. Helena Russell, I think was her name. And she was sort of like a commander, too. And, of course, on the left of the screen, on the top, there's the ship that they had. And, of course, I think that's the moon backdrop and so on. And just the other characters that were on the ship. I don't know all of their names, but the one like on your left there, she was... On the bottom, she was one of the characters, and then of course the three next to where the candelabra is. So, want to start us off?
Heavenly Father, again, bless our food and our time together in Jesus Christ's holy name.
And enable me to in Christ's name.
Yes, amen.
Okay, so this is going to be cool. Now, I don't know how to play the theme song to Space 1999.
Well, I remember it. You know, it was something like dun 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 or something like this, or dun 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 dun.
But even though I don't remember
something like that,
even though I don't remember the theme song, this was quite the show.
It was.
Now, do you know the synopsis of this show?
Yeah, it's been so long, but we had in 1999, of course we don't have it, an outpost called Moon Base Alpha on the moon. We had people on the moon living there, working on the moon, but this, like you said, this villain came in and just blasted the moon out of its orbit.
He blew these explosives off, which caused the moon to shift out of the orbit.
Yeah, that was in the pilot episode, yes.
Yeah, and the moon was like floating in space.
Yes,
so technically they were lost in space, but
on the moon, yes.
And that's an interesting premise that they're trying to figure out how to get the moon back to the Earth's
I remember that.
Orbit, and trying to figure out how to get home. So their adventures were actually on the moon, and they were always getting in trouble with something.
They were
aliens or whatever.
Oh, yes.
That's the premise of this show, Space 1999. And what fascinated me about this show at the time, it came out like in the early 70s, I think.
Yes, around 75, 76. I can't remember.
Yeah, and when you watch this show, it seems so futuristic
at
the time.
It was.
You know, and stuff like that. I used to have a ship just like that, like the one on the top left there. I had a model. It was probably about this big for real. When I was like junior high school or high school or something like that. I had a Space 1999 ship. And I used to hang it up in my room like that.
Yeah. So, do you remember any of the plots? I do.
Yeah, if you want to talk about some of the plots.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was a two-parter. It was scary. I mean, I just loved it as a kid, but it was terrifying. There were these aliens, they came aboard Moon Base Alpha. They looked human, and they were trying to be friendly and looked human. But there was this one person, I don't know, but who was able to see what they really were. There were these terrifying tentacled aliens with one eye. They wanted to take over Moon Base Alpha.
Yeah, they always want to take over these bad guys, you know.
Yeah, and it was a horribly evil alien race. They weren't human at all. And at the cliffhanger, at the end, this one alien with one eye was approaching like the camera like this, and it just looked like this hideous creature, and that's how they ended the cliffhanger. Then they picked it up in the next week, and they were able to defeat these evil aliens, but that was scary, man. That was a great episode.
Okay, and that was your favorite?
That was my favorite because it was so frightening, and you didn't know what was going on. I was completely surprised when that happened. Another one I liked, I don't remember it very well, but there was this tentacled octopus-like space creature that was trying to destroy Moon Base Alpha. It was huge.
Okay.
About even bigger than Moon Base Alpha almost. And they were having to try and fight it with their lasers, and the tentacles were trying to get in the Moon Base. It was really good.
Okay.
Man, that was a good episode too. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, they even predicted the first, I think they had an episode where they had a heart transplant, but it was an artificial heart. I can't remember. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember, but I think so. And, you know, a few years ago, they did try and have someone have an actual artificial heart. It was plastic.
Okay.
But it had so many side effects, it was even in real life. The patient died anyway, and they never really continued experimenting with an artificial heart. But that was That was on Space 1999 too. Yeah.
Did the patient on that show die?
I don't remember. All I remember on the show is that there was an artificial heart. I just don't remember much about the show, but I loved it and it was cool and great special effects and plot for its day.
Yeah, it did. For its time, I think it was probably the most intricate as far as special effects of its time.
Yeah. Isn't that a laser being shot up with
Yeah.
laser?
Martin Landau's character, that was one of their lasers.
Yeah. But even on this ship, where is it?
The ship is on the, if you just go to the left of your screen.
Yeah.
Just look on the screen literally and just go to the left of the screen.
Yeah, here we are. Isn't that a laser being shot by one of the spaceships or something?
Probably. It was closest to Star Wars, I think.
It was.
As far as their special effects.
Yeah, that was on the laser. Out of those little laser guns.
Yeah. And I don't want to block off one of those characters there, but you know the three on the bottom left of your screen there. So this was a perfect backdrop to depict this show, Space 1999.
Yeah.
Now I don't know how many of our viewers are going to remember this show because you have to really be into science fiction.
Yeah. And of course we both are, and it was in the 70s too.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a good show.
Unless it's Star Trek or something like that, most people probably don't remember Space 1999.
Yeah.
And it's not because it wasn't a good show.
Yeah.
And Martin Landau, he's going to probably be most remembered for Mission Impossible, as I mentioned in the other show. So, but yeah, that's a beautiful science fiction backdrop.
Yeah, it is.
And just cool. I just love it. I like the colors, and they look like they had comfortable spacesuits on too.
They did, yes.
Stuff like that. But you don't hear much about this show anymore.
No, you don't.
You don't hear about any of those other shows. You really didn't even hear about Battlestar Galactica, and I think the only reason why some people talk about it is because it's on MeTV.
Yeah, yeah.
And MeTV is like small in the spectrum of the television world.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So, unless you're like on NBC or something, I don't think anybody's going to really remember you much. And even the NBC shows eventually get forgotten, but that's the way television is. You peak for a while and then you just fall by the wayside.
But that was one good show. That was an excellent show. I loved it as a kid. I was around 8 or 9 or so, 8, maybe 7, 8 or 9. I can't remember, but I was enjoying that show every minute. It came on like Saturday or something, Saturday night or Friday. I can't remember, but I would just sit there and watch and just loved it. You know.
Right. So, but how long did that show last? Do you remember?
You know, I think just a couple of seasons. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think this was more of an acquired taste. For science fiction.
Yeah, I was hooked right off because I saw the pilot and I was just hooked right off the bat.
Well, when the moon shot out into space like that. I did see that pilot recently. Last year I just happened to look at the pilot to get re-familiar with it.
Cool.
Just last year on the computer. And the funny thing about the computer is you can just go on YouTube and pick any show of the past. And for whatever reason, I just started looking at Space 1999 last year. It came to mind. And I was at home that night and I wasn't doing anything. And I turned the computer on and I watched the entire pilot episode of Space 1999.
Yeah, probably was it a two-parter or none?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Because it was just a great show. All I remember it was one cool, excellent show. Yeah, just had all sorts of aliens and people trying to take over. Cause like I said, it was amazing.
It was the same with all those science fiction shows. There was always an alien trying to take over or something like that. You know?
Heck, I'm thinking maybe I even ought to order. It's probably so expensive, out of my budget. You can order stuff online. A friend of mine can.
You go to Amazon and order on Amazon too. That's what in fact, I just ordered the pilot episode to Land of the Giants.
Oh, cool!
On Amazon a couple of weeks ago. It was only like $1.99.
Yeah.
Because I didn't order the series, I just ordered the pilot episode. I also ordered the pilot episode of the Time Tunnel.
Oh, yes.
And the pilot episode of Ultraman. So that was only about $5 or $6.
Those spaceships, weren't those the space shuttles they used for Moonbase Alpha if they wanted to explore something?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's been a while since I've seen this show with the exception of last year. I hadn't watched this show since I was like in high school.
Yeah. I think I watched it several years ago, like 30, 40 years ago, maybe.
Well,
40 years ago.
when it was in its heyday.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember. I just loved it.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it until just last couple of weeks back, last year sometime. You remember the Lay's potato chip commercial?
Oh,
Nobody
yes.
can eat just one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to have my first Lay's potato chip.
Wonderful.
For 2018.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's potato chip time. A little potato chips.
And the reason I'm not using my hands because they're probably not very clean playing this piano here.
Yeah. Yeah, but Space 99 was just a great show. Just and they went to different planets and kind of very different, interesting things. It was just fascinating.
So
I think they even did one with some rock creature or something. They went on this one planet. There were a bunch of rock creatures or something.
I'm not surprised.
They were intelligent. I think they were trying to cause chaos, but one of the characters even said, "The rock is trying to get off the planet," or something like that. The rock is trying to get off. Oh, I thought that was kind of funny. That was kind of silly.
I know.
That was funny. Speaking of silly science fiction, one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek, the old story, was Spock's brain.
Oh, I remember it.
That was such stupid dialogue. It was hilarious.
It was kind of funny, kind of thinking of it.
I mean, I think they were trying to be serious, but it just didn't work. It's where, do you remember, guys, where this alien...
They had that lady get on the ship and they knocked everybody out.
Yes.
They took Spock's brain because they needed, it was called the controller.
Controller, yes.
And they needed they needed someone to guide them to teach them how to live. So
Exactly.
They took Spock's brain. And Spock didn't even know he was out of his own body.
Yeah.
It was his brain anyway. And so Dr. McCoy puts the
teacher on, yes.
The teacher on. All of a sudden he's this brilliant surgeon. He's like,
yeah.
put Spock's brain back together like more than halfway into it. He
I
starts
know.
forgetting how to do it.
But the dialogue was so funny. I mean, Dr. McCoy said, "What are we going to do? Where are we going to look? Where in all the galaxy are we going to look for Spock's brain?"
And Captain Kirk's like, "I'll find it."
And then he said, "But I don't even know how to restore it. I don't know how to bring it back into his head. I don't know how to bring it back."
Yeah, he said he didn't have the technique. I remember that. I don't have the technique.
That was hilarious.
Captain Kirk says, "Well, the thief that took it has the knowledge.
Yeah.
Force it out of her."
I mean, and then when they finally go to the planet, Captain Kirk says to this one little lunar, "Well, you have Spock's brain. You took it. You gotta get it back to his body or something." Brain? What is? I don't know anything about a brain.
Yeah, what they did was they put the teacher on.
Yes.
He's smart enough, long enough to go find that brain. And
I mean, it was so ridiculous. We're in all the galaxy. We're going to look for Spock's brain. And then I don't know how to put it back. I mean, that is bad. But it's so stupid, it's funny. And then Liz said, "Brain and brain. What is brain?"
I remember that.
And then Luna said, "Oh, you also mentioned brain to Luna about brain, but we don't know what this is." It was so stupid.
Well, only Gene Roddenberry could think of something like that, so...
It was supposed to be serious, but it was inadvertently silly.
Yeah, well,
that just worked. Brain and brain, what is brain?
Pleasures and delight, too.
Yeah,
They would scare the snow people or whatever they were.
Yeah. That was just hilarious.
And then, of course, Spock tells McCoy how to fix his... What was interesting about that series to me, okay, you know, if you had brain surgery for real, you wouldn't just take the scalp and just put it back and get killed all of a sudden. But it was like that on the Star Trek episode. As soon as Dr. McCoy finishes putting Spock's brain in, all of a sudden he just gets up and starts babbling.
Oh, yeah. It was just hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I guess sometimes they want to have fun, you know.
Yeah, and that was one of the funnier episodes.
Mm-hmm. The Tribbles.
Oh, I loved that. And that was adorable. I have a toy Tribble at home. I got it from a science fiction convention in Spokane called Spokon. They still have it in Spokane, but they were having like a huckster's room. You get science fiction books and fantasy books. And someone had a toy Tribble. It even squeaks, you know, kind of like a stuffed animal. Squeak, squeak. It's a Tribble I got.
Oh, did it make that like noise when it
No, unfortunately it doesn't. It just squeaks.
Okay.
You just press it and it's a squeak. It's kind of,
Yeah, that was kind of an amusing episode. If you want to talk about amusing episodes on Star Trek. And that Klingon agent disguised himself up surgically to look human. and he got caught simply because the triple went.
Yes, yes.
The triple didn't like it. They kind of
Yeah.
make that funny noise.
Yes.
And so that doctor walks in there inadvertently, and the triple goes off on him. He doesn't go off on Spock. He purrs. At Spock, He purrs at all the humans.
Yeah.
But makes that noise.
Yeah.
They don't like you, Mr. Ferris. I wonder why that is. And so Dr. McCoy examines him, and it turns out he's Klingon.
Yeah.
I don't like those fuzzy things. I never want to see it again. The guy says, "Don't worry, you won't. By the time we lock you up."
Yeah, yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah. That's fun. You have any resolutions for
2018? No.
2018?
No.
I do. I'm working on a song called Fantasy Impromptu by Chopin.
Mm-hmm.
It goes something like this if you do it really slow.
Uh-huh.
Well, before I demonstrate that, let me. I'm gonna do a tapping on my hand. With my right hand, you're gonna hear 4 taps. Very slow. With my left hand, you're gonna hear 3. Listen carefully. See if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Yes.
See, my left hand is doing 3. And the right hand is 4. That's how you do the fantasy impromptu. It's got those 2 rhythms. So when you do it in slow motion, here's the 3. See, 1, 2, 3. The left hand's doing 3, and then with the right hand it'll be 4 notes again. 3. I'll do it really slow.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
My goal is to master this song by the end of this year. Isn't that pretty?
Yep.
Beautiful song. I'm doing it in slow motion right now.
I've never heard this song.
It goes lightning quick.
Oh, interesting.
You know, with those 2 rhythms like that. And then it has a part that goes something like this. You recognize this part?
Nope.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. Is it a song you made up?
No.
Oh.
It's a Chopin piece.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful chords.
Yes.
Can you see that my left hand is doing 3?
Vaguely, yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah, pretty. Listen to
Yep.
that. You'll probably recognize the middle part of that. It goes something like this. Here's a melody here. It goes something like this. You don't recognize that?
Nope.
Well, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that's called a fantasy impromptu, and it's something like 10 pages long. And my goal is to see if I can play that all the way through by the end of this year. That's my...
Interesting.
And I chose that song because the middle part of that song was a song called I'm Chasing Rainbows. Judy Garland made that famous, and it was a big hit for her. What they did was they took the middle part of that fancy impromptu, called it I'm Chasing Rainbows, and when she recorded it, it was a big hit.
Interesting.
And the melody went like something like this. I'm always chasing rainbows.
Interesting.
something like that. Beautiful song. It was one of her biggest hits.
Whoa.
Judy Garland's biggest hits. And all they did was just took that middle part, fancy impromptu, and slowed it down. Because see, the first part of that goes something like really fast.
Yeah.
You know, it'll go something like this. So, you know, at that speed like that, and I'm not able to connect that yet because I'm still memorizing it. See?
Yeah.
And hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be able to do that reasonably well.
Interesting.
But see, when you go really fast like that, that's really beautiful. I just did it in slow motion so you could hear those rhythms. So, and of course, it'd be easier to play it on a regular piano instead of electronic piano. Let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, I'm not really too up on Chopin.
Well, that's a beautiful song, and that's the only lightning fast Chopin piece that I'm interested in because of that middle part that Judy Garland did, and it has some beautiful chords in there. So it's gonna be nice when I can put that together, you know. But in the meantime, I'm just working on it very slow, and as I stated, there's two rhythms going on. The left hand, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, against 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're putting them together. It's 3 notes against 4 notes, and you connect it together to form that.
Fascinating.
Well, give me the end of the year. Maybe if I get it, I can play it on this show at the end of this year. It depends on my discipline, because you know, on New Year's, everybody always says they want to do something. They like in the first couple of weeks, they end up quitting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to lose weight on the, you know, my New Year's resolution. They find out how hard it is lifting them barbells and changing your diet from all that pizza and carbs and what have you. And most people, when they make New Year's resolution, they're lucky if they get through their first month.
I know.
So I said to myself, I want to learn Fantasy Impromptu by Chopin, so we'll see if I'll still keep my New Year's resolution 6 months from now. But, you know, the left hand by itself sounds beautiful too. Listen to this, I'll do it slowly. Start here. Isn't that beautiful? 1, 2, 3. Isn't that pretty?
Well, here's one New Year's resolution I can make.
What's that?
Right on the show. For my New Year's resolution, I resolved on this show to spin like a top. And I'm going to do it now! Spin like a top! And I kept my New Year's resolution.
Good for you.
Wow,
That's your first surreal joke of the year.
Yep. Wasn't that fascinating? I made a New Year's resolution to do spin like a top on your show, and I just kept it. There it's done. Wasn't that fascinating?
These are such beautiful chords, and then the right hand by itself goes like this. See, if I do one hand at a time, I can do it.
Yep.
Listen to that. Just beautiful.
Isn't it fascinating to spin like a top?
Yep. Listen to that, Emmett.
Yep.
This is part of the song too. I love that. Listen to that.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll see where I stand at the end of this year. See if I can actually do it.
Yep.
Listen to this part coming up.
Yep.
Beautiful. I I know this won't make much sense to you, but when you put it together.
Yes.
Now that song actually goes about 3 or 4 times much faster, that first part. Something like this. I can't do it right now,
Yeah.
but that gives you an idea. But I'm at the memorization process. I'm just memorizing it right now, and then you put those 2 rhythms together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And the left hand is doing those triplets.
Would you ever like to live on the moon?
Actually, I'd have to think about that if that were possible.
I think it'd be fascinating.
It might be fascinating, but it would seem like it would be kind of alarming. And I don't mean in a bad way, just because you're walking on the surface of another planet and you see the Earth where the moon should be. And if something were to go wrong, everybody's too far to help you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They had talked about trying to make that possible one day to send people to the moon.
And even Mars, I would like to be one of the first Mars colonists.
Yeah, but see again, it takes like 11 years at top speed to get to the planet Mars. And if something goes wrong halfway between there, it won't be no one there to help you.
Well, it's the adventure of being a pioneer.
No, I understand that, and there's going to probably be some zillionaire about 20 years from now who's going to make the investment and probably be the first human to go to Mars. Because I believe that that's going to be possible.
Yes.
Maybe not necessarily in your and my lifetime, but I think there will come a day, if Christ doesn't return, I think there will come a day where traveling to not distant planets like Star Trek, but like the closest, like the moon and Mars. I think that's going to be possible. They already have those satellites or whatever on the surface of Mars.
Yes, they do.
Beautiful pictures of that planet.
Yeah. They did an excellent, it was an R-rated movie, but they did a very scary movie, an excellent one called Red Planet, I think it was called.
Yeah, I had that in my collection and I got rid of it the other day.
Oh, man.
I wish I'd have known that. Yeah, see, somebody threw out some VHS movies a couple of weeks ago where I live, and that movie you mentioned was one of the movies.
Oh,
and
man.
I didn't recognize it, so I didn't keep it.
Oh, man. I loved that movie. I think it had...
Yeah, the Red Planet.
Yeah, it had... there was this robot that they had called Amy. It was like a robot dog.
Okay.
If I remember, they were trying to colonize Mars because, Earth was dying. So they tried to do it. But Amy... And normally it was a friendly scout robot, but if it got flit or got, because there was an accident with that spaceship, if it got damaged, it would flip into its military mode, its attack military mode. So Amy became a real threat. I was trying to kill off all these Mars colonists one by one, and it was really, really cool, and it was very destructive.
Just to go.
I think that was it. Yeah, Red Planet or something like that. It wasn't even Mission Mars. Red Planet. It was a good movie. It was R-rated, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, I had that movie just last week and I threw it out.
Man.
I wish I'd have known.
I didn't even know we were just talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I found something like 20 VHS movies about a week or so ago.
Wow.
And I only kept the ones that I recognized, like one of the Bond movies.
Oh, cool.
Stuff like that. But yeah, that Mars film was in there.
Yeah, rats.
Well, I tell you what, when I get home today, if it's still where I placed it, I'll bring it next week and I'll let you.
Thank you.
It's a VHS movie.
Unless you mean you put it outside or something, or?
Yeah, I did. I put it near where people throw things out.
Yeah. Maybe someone else took it. I don't know.
I don't know. I just put it out there about a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 days
right.
ago. So when I get home today, if it's still out there,
Thanks.
I'll
Thank
go
you.
retrieve it.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to you next week.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was one of the movies, and I didn't keep it because I didn't recognize the title.
Yeah, it was one very good movie. Yeah.
Some of the episodes they had was like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah, I never cared for that.
I know, but it was a collector's item, and it was in It was like a box of movies. Somebody threw out like 20
Whoa.
VHS movies.
Uh-huh.
I kept about maybe 10 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe 12.
Yeah.
And then there were some other ones that they had that I didn't think would interest me.
Yeah.
You know, like those gang banging hip
Oh,
hop.
yeah, I can't stand that stuff. No way, yeah. Doesn't interest me either.
Yeah, it's always these rappers making these movies. And
Yeah.
Let me have one of those napkins there. You know? And I'm not trying to pick on rappers, but, you know, they make these movies that are just so
Yes.
violent.
I know.
And there were a couple of those hip-hop, I call them hip-hop.
Yeah.
Gangsta, they call it.
Yeah.
Gangsta movies. And
Yeah.
I just wasn't interested in
Nope,
that.
nope.
So I threw it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that if I'd have known about that Mars film.
Yeah.
And I threw out those, they had some Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in there, which really didn't interest me.
Well, I love the Terminator movies. I have those
Well,
anyway.
actually, it was Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But
I have that on tape already. Huh?
yeah. I'll see if that one is still there too. This one looked
Thanks.
like it was brand new. It was in pretty good shape. And I don't want to pick on Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
Yeah.
I'm just not really into his movies.
Some of his movies I love. Like I love Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. I love that. You know, Conan from the 80s. I love that.
I mean, I don't
love
want to
the
contradict
Terminator
myself,
movies.
but the only movie that he did that I liked was the original Terminator.
I liked that one.
Maranatha.
I loved
Yeah,
the
that-
original Terminator. Yeah. Man, yeah, I loved that. Yep.
They kept playing that throughout the movie
Yeah.
there.
That was the first R-rated movie I ever went to on my own, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I loved the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Kindergarten Cop. I thought that was a stupid idea. And have you ever seen Jingle All the Way?
No, I know of them.
You've never seen Jingle All the Way?
No, I think I've looked at 2 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in my whole life.
Yeah.
The other one was that one where they went to Mars or something like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that didn't really work for me.
No, that didn't work out for me either. I didn't care for that one. But yeah, Jingle All the Way was the stupidest film. It was about this guy played by Arnold Schwarzenegger who wants to get a certain toy for his son for Christmas. It's based on some sort of superhero thing.
Mm-hmm.
This kid was really a jerk anyway, but he had to find these one toys at the mall and compete with a whole bunch of other parents to get this one toy or
Okay.
something, and it just didn't work. I thought it was so bad.
See, I can't comment because I haven't
Yeah,
seen it, you know.
it's just so stupid. It was supposed to be a comedy, but I wasn't laughing.
And you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably a very nice person.
Oh yeah, he is, I'm sure, yeah. Yeah,
But his movies just
yeah.
do not work for me.
Like I said, I love Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Those were my 2 favorites. Because I love heroic fantasy too, like, you know, Conan the Barbarian. That was based on novels by Robert E. Howard and Sprague de Camp. I just loved the old Conan from the 30s, and they made that movie. Just, I loved it, you know. Very violent. Extremely blood, guts, and gore. Very violent.
Well,
I loved
that's
it.
the kind of movies he and Stallone make, you know,
Yeah.
blood and gore. And I'm just not into that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it had a really great soundtrack because it was such high adventure, you know, just like dun 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 dun, dun, you know, something about onto the scene, Conan, destined to rule the kingdom of Aquilonia with his crown upon a troubled brow. Upon a trouble, it is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of a saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure. And then at first, the thing is, they first were showing, you know, people making a sword because he came from a village of Samaria.
That's where he came from?
Yeah, village of Samaria. It was just between the fall of Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Ares. It's just at the beginning of the world. They had only discovered steel.
Uh-huh.
They were making this sword and a dun dun. The music went dun 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 dun. They're making the sword, and then these Picts or these evil warriors came and slaughtered all the Sumerians except for Conan.
So he's out on a revenge thing, huh?
Yes, and the music was dramatic. It was like almost dun 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 dun, and they're just fighting, dun 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 and just blood and guts. And Conan was the only survivor.
Really?
Yeah, he was Then he was enslaved, unfortunately. He was enslaved and tied to what was called the wheel of pain. It was grinding mill, kind of like grinding flour, even in the summer. And in the winter, this funny little boy would be grinding on this wheel, this huge wheel, and it built up his body like nothing. An indomitable spirit.
That's how you got those muscles on there.
Yeah, and then when he was grown up, he was sold as a pit fighter in this one pit. Like, you know, like it was kind of sports that they had, barbaric sports, and he never lost a match.
Well, I guess if it grinds you up and you develop muscles over a few years, you're not going to lose any matches.
And anyway, basically they loved it, and he was a great prize. So they sent him to the Far East, where the war masters would teach him the deepest secrets about fighting. The language and writing were made available. Finally, he was freed. He ran into this cave because wolves were chasing him, and there was like this skeleton of a barbarian king or something, and it had this beautiful broadsword. So he got it, and that was his new sword, and he vowed revenge against this horrible person, Thulsa Doom, who was making this evil cult, and he would fight off all the warriors, and it beautifully done. Beautifully done. But you'd have to like the music and blood, guts, and gore, because it's just nothing but blood, guts, and gore in and out, you know? But it was beautifully made, if you like that kind of thing. You're probably not much into heroic fantasy, but I love it. And I just love that, and just the music was so incredible, you know? Oh yeah, they even sang some of the music. It sounded something like this. I don't know what it was about, but the song was Dawn and sun, oh, king and empire, king and heir. Oh, it was so masculine. Oh, king and empire, king and heir. Oh, just, wow, my goosebumps are just wonderful when he went into Thulsa Doom's castle and just started.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, I saw him on an episode of an old cop show in the past called The Streets of San Francisco. He was very, very young, probably in his muscle building days, because they had a scene where the police were going to put the handcuffs on him, and he was too big, and handcuffs wouldn't go around him, so he just surrenders himself like this, and they just put him in the backseat of the car without the handcuffs. Man, he was chiseled back then.
Oh, yeah, he was.
My goodness.
I think he still is, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're talking about in his heyday.
Yes, in his heyday, yes.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder that man won that title a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you and I will never have to work, because I'm never going to look like that.
No.
Plus the fact I would be willing to work out for 5 hours.
Nor would I.
Gym.
Yeah, I liked Conan the Destroyer, but it was PG. The other one was rated R, and I don't think Conan the Destroyer was that good. He had to go and fight some monster and rescue some princess.
So there was 2 movies.
There were 2 movies. They wanted a more toned-down family type of movie, and I don't think it worked that well.
So the first one was pretty gruesome, huh?
Yeah. The second one was a lot tamer, and there was too much humor. Because they even had this bumbling thief in the company that was trying to be all cool and hip, and I think he even played in Repo Man. I can't remember his name, and there was a lot of humor in it, and it's kind of. I don't think it worked as well. It just didn't work that well. I liked it.
I know they want to do family movies, but sometimes I think certain movies have to be done a certain way.
They do, like the Conan the Barbarian movies, right. Yes.
Or like a Law and Order, for example.
Yes, exactly.
You can't have Barney Fife.
No.
It just won't work.
Yeah.
So, again, for the TV audience, I'm not picking on Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's probably a nice person, but his movies just don't work for me.
Yeah.
But everybody has their thing.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't like Kindergarten Cop or Jingle all the way. Oh, you know. Oh.
Yeah. No, I didn't see that either.
Oh, you're not missing anything if you miss Jingle all the way. Don't bother. You're not missing anything.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
That
tip there. But getting back to Space 1999, that is a beautiful backdrop that we're on. In fact, this is probably going to be one of our best backdrops, probably for 2018.
Yes.
Just look at the colors and just
beautiful.
The characters. It's a beautiful backdrop.
Yes.
But we'll see as time goes by, because it's only the 11th day of January. I'm not, and you and I are not thinking about it. 2 months from now, we might think of some other cool.
Oh yes.
Science fiction thing to put ourselves in. But it's cool to squeeze. You and I share this moment of Space 1999 because I've said this before. When I used to watch all these shows that we put ourselves on the
Yes.
backdrops, I never thought I'd see myself
Yes, I know.
on their backdrop.
Yes.
This is the closest you and I ever get. Like, I Dream of Jeannie, and when we're in Jeannie's bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the closest to I Dream of
Yeah.
Jeannie for real, we'll ever be. Or The Price is Right with Bob Barker.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh gosh, you and I had done a whole bunch
And we
of-
put ourselves on the set of the Gong Show. Remember
Yeah,
that?
that's how this whole thing started. For the television audience that don't know, when we lost Chuck Barris,
Yeah.
who was the host of the Gong Show, Emmett and I did a tribute to him, and we put ourselves on a Gong
Yeah.
Show. That's how this whole
Yeah.
thing started.
Yeah.
About backdrops for TV shows.
Yep.
For the TV audience that doesn't know, and it worked.
Yep.
That turned into weekly.
Yes.
Every week we've been putting ourselves on backdrop of shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of my personal favorites, the Time Tunnel.
Yeah.
That was. I don't think you were in that one. But
Yeah.
Scott and
I think I was in one of them, yeah. I feel, yeah.
Yeah, and then what was somebody? The Enterprise. Remember you were sitting in
Yes,
Captain
yes.
Picard's chair.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
Yeah. Oh, another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I liked. He played a supporting role. It was called Red Sonja. It was also created by Robert E. Howard, who created Conan.
I don't
Red
know.
Sonja was a female barbarian warrior.
Oh,
And Arnold Schwarzenegger helped her out, but that was a good movie. It was little known, but I liked Red Sonja as well.
Cool.
It wasn't as good as the others, but I liked it. It was kind of bizarre, but I liked it. She fought against an evil queen that had destroyed her village. That's what she
had the
did.
same plot line.
I know.
These warriors
Yes.
out here and
Yep.
take on the bad guys.
Yeah.
And so about I don't know if you know this. I'm going to give you the number. This is the phone I was telling you about.
Yes.
It's not charged up very much at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this has unlimited. I mean, I may have unlimited long
Yeah.
distance, but unlimited as far as all the other features. I have to save as much as that for 1
Yeah.
month. At the end of this month, it will go back to
Okay.
normal again. But anyway, getting back to some of these films and
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that. You know, I think that Space 1999 probably was the best as far as special effects for television.
It was.
I think.
It was fantastic.
Even more than the original Star Trek.
Yes, yes.
Or the Star Trek The Next Generation
Yes.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that something? Martin Landau is gone now, but
Yes.
what a legacy. he
Yep.
left. And his wife on the right of the screen, I think she's like well into her 80s now.
Yep, yep.
Barbara Bain.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, she made my top 10 Asaph stories on Scott's show for 2016. This
Oh,
actress
cool.
on here,
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Helen Schlesinger, I think was her name. Yeah, she was my number one story of all the stories I did
Interesting.
in 2016 on
Mhm.
Scott's show. This actress
Mhm.
here, the sexiest spy on television.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because of her
Mhm.
work on Mission Impossible too. And I showed some clips or still pictures from Space 1999.
Cool.
And that news story too. And I think Martin Landau's been gone probably about a year, not even a year now.
I didn't even know that, yeah.
Oh yeah, he passed away last year or something.
How old was he?
Oh gosh, I think it was like well into his 80s too.
Whoa.
You gotta remember, these guys were in their
Yes.
heyday in the, 70s or
Mhm.
so, and they were
Mhm.
probably in their 40s then,
Yep.
if you look at these pictures here, so.
Yep.
But I think Martin Landau will be most remembered for Mission Impossible more than Space 1999.
Yeah, yeah.
And probably his wife too, if we eventually lose her, or we eventually lose her. But in the meantime, yeah, it's just fun. The stuff they did in the 60s and 70s, I think, was better quality television.
It
in a lot
was,
of ways,
absolutely.
than the stuff they have
Absolutely.
today. So,
And there wasn't any of this political correctness, you know.
yeah, I know, just good old-fashioned comedy.
Exactly, or
Or,
science fiction or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Take two. Speaking of people we lost, you know, we lost over 100 notable people in 2017.
No, I did not know that.
Well, that was on the computer news there, like David Cassidy, Partridge Family,
Oh, yeah.
the lead singer.
I never watched the Partridge Family.
Let's see, I'm gonna play my version of "I Think I Love You." You'll recognize it. that.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Well, never mind. But anyway,
Didn't care for the concept, just
Well, yeah, but getting back to the people we lost, and then we lost Rose Marie, the actress was on the Dick Van Dyke Show, the blonde haired lady.
Yeah, I never watched that either. So,
And let's see, well, all these people are like in their 80s and so on. And we lost Robert Guillaume, the actor that played Benson on that comedy television show. He played the butler, the African American.
Don't know him.
Lead role. And oh gosh, I think we lost Roger Moore last year too, 2017.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, he was like in his 80s too.
Yeah.
The point that I'm going with is that whole generation, all these people left all these great
Yes.
films and stuff. They're all gone now.
Yep.
And stuff. But it was very sad.
Yeah.
And we lost like journalists and
Yeah.
that was all included in.
Is Norma Simmer, the Champagne lady, still alive or not? Did
No,
we
she's
lose
gone.
her?
I looked her up recently. She's gone now too.
Because I saw her on the Lawrence Welk show.
Well,
rerun. And they were interviewing her. Yeah, but yeah, she's gone. Yeah.
In fact, almost everybody on the original Lawrence Welk show is gone now.
Yeah. Isn't Myron Florin? Didn't he pass away too? Or
He's gone too.
Yeah. Arthur Duncan, is he still alive? Or?
Yeah, he's something like probably 83 or 84
Yeah.
himself now. I don't think he's dancing much anymore.
No.
He's probably teaching it. Speaking of Arthur Duncan, I tried to contact him about that new Lawrence Welk show that we did, and I told you I got that PBS budget, so if we get that funding and I can get a hold of Arthur Duncan, I'll see if I can fly him out here to Montana to supervise that new show, because he would be qualified.
He would be.
He'd be very qualified. But there's not a lot of the Welk cast left, so...
I know.
You gotta remember, that show came out in like 1955.
Yeah.
So.
Every time I see them dancing, when they have the champagne music and the couples are invited to dance, and most of them are elderly, like this, filmed in 1983, they're all elderly. I keep thinking most of them probably have passed away. Most of those couples who are dancing probably in the audience have probably passed away, Yep. Yeah, I love the
Something
champagne
like that,
music.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah. Champagne music. I can't do it the way Lawrence Welk did it, when he made the champagne sound of the chicken. Champagne music. Went champagne. I just like that.
Something like that. Well, that was probably a sound effect too.
Yeah, probably was.
Because that's a pretty loud pop. So.
Yeah.
But that's a great legacy that Lawrence Welk left.
He did.
Just some beautiful music he left.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons why I want to honor his show.
Yep.
If I get that opportunity.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of prayers going up on behalf of that.
Wonderful.
That will open. I have a lot of Christian friends that are praying that the good Lord will open that door.
Yep.
If he chooses to that new Lawrence Welk show. I have that show well planned. Believe me when I tell you that.
Wonderful.
I've got the ballroom all set already. I've got a band pretty much and everything. I just got to get the funding for it.
Wonderful.
Pull it off. And the Lawrence Welk Network, the OETA network, contacted me twice.
Wonderful.
And, they're interested in that project. They've got the DVD version of the show, in fact.
Yes, wonderful.
So that's what I want to do, is bring his show back to life.
Wonderful.
If the good Lord opens that door. So in the meantime, everything in its time.
Yes.
God has a way of, they say, perfect timing.
Yes.
So while I'm in the waiting stage here, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But I want to honor his show, and it'll be just like his show, just the
wonderful.
Only difference updated. We're going to keep the same costume. I'm not going to change anything.
Wonderful.
I think we're about due for that.
Yes.
That type of entertainment.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
That clean, family, wholesome thing where you can sit with your grandkids and watch it.
Yes.
There's a lot of shows on television you couldn't sit with your grandchildren.
I know.
I'm going to clean this up here. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
Yes.
Just pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get political or anything, but now they're throwing in the gay humor stuff, and I have nothing against gay people, but it's just that political correctness that
I know
that whatever. So it'd be nice to have
It would be, yes.
Go back in time and have a really silly show like Gilligan's Island or
yes.
one of those kind of shows. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted. Oh, let me give you this telephone number here.
Yeah, maybe after the show, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, this phone is working now, and I had to learn how to use it. I just bought it less than a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe a little over a week
Yes.
ago. So, I'm getting used to it now. And I should be able to start calling you too, and you should be able to start calling me and get through. on this
Wonderful.
number. I'll give you the number when we're done taping here. And you know, we are literally almost out of time.
Wild.
Yeah, this whole hour goes by quick. You have any final words you want to say?
Yes, it's a real joke. I can think of this one. There were these two washing machines, and they were watching Space 1999. Isn't that surreal? And they were sticking their tongue out at the television. Then this one dryer came along and said, "Oh, I can't see around that," so I went to the other side of the room and started screaming about trigonometry. Ha ha ha!
Trigonometry, yeah. Well, I guess for Space 1999 it would be trigonometry.
Yes.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Em and I were just goofing off today.
Yep.
But this is a beautiful backdrop.
It is.
So, affectionately on my left, our aging rocker Emmett. And thanks for the surreal joke.
Yes.
We're on the set of Space 1999. We'll do Martin Landau and Barbara Bain proud. And on that note, until our next show, Maranatha. Well, make yourself at home on Space 1999. I'll
Thanks.
shut everything down.
Yep.